A long night for the Miami Heat was something far less substantial for Hassan Whiteside, again creating question about how essential the shot-blocking center is viewed when it comes to the team's success. With 4:01 to play in the third quarter of Friday night's 107-103 victory over the New York Knicks at American Airlines Arena, Whiteside was summoned to the bench by coach Erik Spoelstra, replaced by James Johnson. With 12 points, 7 rebounds and 2 blocks to that stage, Whiteside was done for the night, after playing 23 minutes, 22 seconds. Held out for all of the fourth quarter. And the entirety of overtime. You know, the decision-making is up to coach. I just can't control that, Whiteside said afterward, as the Heat turned their attention to Sunday's game against the Utah Jazz at American Airlines Arena, the close of a 3-game homestand. I can just cheer for the team. That's who we wanted to go with. The game was the fifth back for Whiteside after missing 13 with a bone bruise on his left knee, yet to play more than 29 minutes since his return. Spoelstra said Friday's approach was a matter of matchups and a lineup that was productive. January 6, 2018 Q, do we have any plans on keeping Wayne Ellington? He's going to be unrestricted in the off-season and we're currently over the cap. Seeing as we don't have his bird rights, I am not really seeing a way we can keep him unless he decides the veteran minimum is all he needs. He's January 6, 2018. Q, do we have any plans on keeping Wayne Ellington? He's going to be unrestricted in the off-season and we're currently over the cap. Seeing as we don't have his bird rights, I am not really seeing a way we can keep him unless he decides the veteran minimum is all he needs. He's, as has become typical with Spoelstra, the same 5 players played the entire 5-minute overtime, with Kelly Olynyk the lone big man in the group. The Knicks also went with only one power player in the extra period, with Kristaps Porzingis a bit too rangy for Whiteside defensively. Like Whiteside, Knicks center Enes Kanter did not play the fourth quarter or overtime. I am not at all hesitant to put him back in there, Spoelstra said of another finish played in the absence of the team's highest paid player. I know he wanted to be in there. When they went small, we felt that that was probably the best lineup for us, so they didn't necessarily have an advantage with Porzingis. The approach has become somewhat of a trend on the nights when Whiteside is not at his aggressive best. Instead, the hot hands, in this case Wayne Ellington, Josh Richardson and Goran Dragic, were the featured closers. That's what it's looking like. It's looking like he's running just different people, Whiteside said. That's what it's looking like. But you know, we got the win. We're 5th in the East now. So, let's keep it going. The curious aspect is that even when one more rebound was needed, Whiteside remained planted on the bench. Off a Knicks timeout with 13.2 seconds to play in the fourth quarter and New York down 97-94, it was a Porzingis rebound off a Courtney Lee missed three-pointer that led to Doug McDermott's overtime forcing three-pointer with 1.1 seconds to play in regulation. Had Whiteside been in the game, it is possible the Knicks would have instead turned to Porzingis for the needed three-pointer, with his quickness advantage.